No! I'm not going to review this. Leaf said we are not supposed to review anything until summer of 2012. Shut up, I'm trying to review this on the slide.
You're trying to do it on the slide?
Stop doing that!
Stop what?
Stop it, you're gonna blow my cover. And just what cover would that be? There! How long have you been sitting there?
Hey, Leaf, what I do? Excuse me. Hey, you want to do a Pokemon review?
I'm not reviewing anything until summer of 2012. But if Jerry J wants to review this movie, he's going to need you to chaperone. Chaperone? Like the two little middle schoolers you are. Have fun!
Trying to be like I'm now, but that ain't gonna last to minimize the damage. We gotta work fast. This is what we gotta do to help the kid to get it. Now listen to my review, or you're gonna regret it. With Husky by my side and Leaf on my chest, we grill bad kids movies with help from the rest. I am Fighting Leaf, a kid movie chief. Don't give me no grief, or you're gonna regret it.
Have fun, he says.
Hi, Internet. Welcome to You're Gonna Regret It Modern Children's Movie Reviews with your host Shaynerd the Mac and Mary Day.
That's Jerry J.
Gary Bay.
What? Well, it's about that time for that special review we all love so much. Gotta review them all. And this time we're looking at the fourth Pokemon movie, Pokemon Forever.
Like every Pokemon movie ever, this one starts off with a monologue about how we're in a Pokemon world and how Pokemon battling is nothing at all like animal abuse.
We eventually cut to a forest where we meet a young boy who happens upon a mysterious tunnel where he comes across an oddly dressed lady who tells him about the voice of the forest.
Don't forget, so if you hear a weird sound, stop and stay completely still.
Or he'll eat you! Apparently you have to stand still when you hear it, or it'll send you to a different time period or something. Now, a lot of what happens in this movie is what we'd like to call convenient.
And for your convenience, we've decided to put a convenience marker at the bottom of the screen to tally each and every one of them.
Take this.
Then we meet the main attraction of this movie, Celebi, the newest of the ever-growing list of legendary Pokemon.
Celebi, the time travel Pokemon. This Pokemon came from the future by crossing over time. It is thought that so long as Celebi appears, a bright shining future awaits us. When Celebi disappears from the forest, it's said to leave behind an egg it brought from the future.
That's really obnoxious.
Sorry.
Celebi is being chased around by a couple of unfriendly Pokemon when it runs into the boy from the beginning. Now, who sent those Pokemon after it?
I'm a Pokemon hunter, kid. I make good
Just
money
thought
off
I'd
of rare
go ahead and
Pokemon.
tell you that.
I catch
Pokemon on motorcycles! So the boy protects Celebi from the hunter and his Pokemon when the sky turns blue suddenly.
Could that be time traveling?
You know, that it does kind of look
Yeah,
like it.
I mean,
with
that's
the,
whenever I
with
see
the
a
glowing
big,
leaves
bright
and
blue
the
thing. Yeah, that's exactly
less
the
shiny
first thing that
things,
I
and then all
think.
of
I
a
mean,
sudden
time
we're-
travel.
What the heck are we supposed to know?
And now we're in the future. Or the present. Or something. All I know is that this guy's hair is now gray, and he's being replaced by a much sillier looking Dan Green.
about that.
It's really hard to take him seriously when he's wearing something that stupid on his head. It looks like one of Magneto's hand-me-down helmets.
What's that thing?
A dark ball. The Pokemon I catch with a dark ball become evil Pokemon, and their power instantly increases to the highest level.
And then the evil Dan Green threw a magical, super weird, evil Pokeball that made the Pokemon it captured super duper powerful and stuff. Yes, my fanfic will finally win me the respect I deserve.
Seriously, it sounds like something a kindergartner thought up. So he uses it, and he's evil, and yeah.
We finally join up with the real main characters of the show, Brock, Misty, and... Where's Ash?
Doing what any self-respecting Pokemon trainer would be doing. Battling!
Oh yeah, it's fight time.
No one cares about the Pokemon fights.
But,
No.
aw. So Ash almost dies again, and the gang eventually takes a short boat ride where they see another of the many, many legendaries, Suicune.
Be sure to remember him, guys.
He's going to be convenient later on. They eventually call Professor Oak, who tells them about the legend of Suicune, and how he's basically a magical water filter and stuff.
I wonder if I should have told him before he hung up.
Nah.
Soon, Team Rocket arrives in their Acme pedal plane and send themselves blasting, careening out of control all by themselves.
We soon arrive in Arborville, a place where people live in trees because, yes, the lady we met at the beginning of the movie is an old hag now, and explains to Ash and the company about the voice of the...
Don't care, more adventuring.
Oh, and she mentioned something about the Lake of Life.
Oh look, blue.
Could that be time traveling?
The gang finds the boy from the beginning, whose name we later learn to be Sammy, but Celebi had wandered off. They take him back to the village, where the old woman recognizes him and explains that he's been gone for 40 years.
The Pokemon you met that day was a Celebi?
Then she goes on to explain that Celebi was the voice of the forest she's been talking about. Then why the heck were you so cryptic about it? Why not just say, Celebi is the voice of the forest?
Because he didn't ask.
Team Rocket is still in this movie, having crashed at the exact spot where Ash and company are.
They eventually find Celebi at the top of a huge log, but when they get too close, it knocks them both away. And, oh yeah, I guess Ash is Spider-Man now.
I think Ash just evolved into a primate.
We're only Celebi. We're your friends.
Slap.
We don't want to hurt
Slap,
you.
slap.
We just
Slap.
want to help you. Yeah.
Slap!
Slap.
So they eventually calm Celebi down enough to where they can pick it up and take it to safety.
Who are they?
Prepare for trouble. Your
Oh, it's the motto!
Go out on a limb.
Thank you. But then Evil Dan Green shows up, and Team Rocket inadvertently helps our heroes escape by distracting him.
Turns out, though, that Evil Dan Green is actually a member of Team Rocket, too. He's just competent is all.
As you can tell from the uniforms, we're also members of Team Rocket.
Me too, but Pokemon get to go naked.
Ah!
Dan Green's Pokemon catch up with the gang, but Ash and Sammy's Bayleaf and Charmeleon make quick work of them.
Celebi is hurt, but Yogi and Boo Boo here lead them to the oh-so-convenient Lake of Life. Seriously, is this turned into Princess Mononoke all of a sudden?
So they dip Celebi into the water where it gets magically healed, and then they go flying around. Lucky punks. Celebi then shows them the best darn berries ever.
Crackberries! Best day ever! Can't stop eating crackberries!
Yeah. Hey, that's great. Thanks.
You draw better than the animators in this movie.
Sam shows off his mad drawing skills, but Ash says an insensitive comment about Sam being stranded in the future.
And Sam takes it unnervingly well, and the two of them share a genuine moment of emotion, punctuated by a flock of Butterfree.
I hope you'll be free, Sam. Huh? I mean to go back in time.
Only to be ruined by really bad dialogue.
Get it? Butterfree? He hopes he's free to go back to his time, like the Butterfree are free. Get it? With the Butterfree? Get it? Get it? Get
Oh yeah, the plot!
Evil Dan Green shows up with Team Rocket to take Celebi away.
This ought to calm you down.
Oh, quite the opposite, actually. Ow! Evil Dan Green captures Celebi in his dark ball.
And then Celebi became super duper overpowered, just like all the rest of the legendaries in these movies.
Quiet, you. Ash wrestles the dark ball away, only to pass out from having his finger stepped on.
What are you doing?
That's awesome.
Celebi,
Evil Dan
get
Green
rid of
lets
them
Celebi
all.
loose and reveals that he is now God. And Team Rocket cares now for some reason.
Show me even more of your power. Dark magic attack!
Don't do that again.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay, let's wrap up.
Celebi makes a Death Star out of twigs and stuff, Ash recovers, Jessie gets sucked up for some reason, the supporting cast shows up in a flying boat, CGI Suicune shows up in time to be convenient, Celebi turns the wood star into a wood gargoyle and breaks stuff for a while, Ash and Sammy almost get vaporized when Suicune saves their butts, Brock's Onyx fights Evil Dan Green's Tyranitar, Onyx goes slap, more bad CGI happens, Jesse helps them into the gargoyle. They break the spell through the power of friendship, the gargoyle collapses, Evil Dan Green is defeated, but Celebi is hurt again, but the water won't heal him this time because it's polluted. Suicune cleans it all up, but it still doesn't work. Ash tries to force feed it crackberries, but nothing works until time traveling happens and a whole bunch of Celebis make it all better. How does Leaf do this? Evil Dan Green shows up and is blown up, sucks to be him. Celebi takes Sam back. Ash is sad but gets over it and What? Sammy was Professor Samuel Oak the whole time?
Whoa.
That is so freaking awesome!
I forgive this movie for everything. The bad dialogue, the horrible CGI, the stupid villain and plot points, all for this one plot twist, because now it makes perfect sense why a reasonable human being would send a hyperactive, immature kid out into the world armed only with an electric rodent who initially hated his guts. It all makes sense now, and it was worth the crappy parts to get to the truth.
The whole world has shifted because of this movie. Well, mine has.
Boy, wouldn't it be freaky to have known someone only to find out that you've known them longer than you've even known them?
I guess. Well, that was Jerry J's first review. How'd he do? He sucked! Agreed.
Could that be time traveling?